of TT racing came to the Isle of Man late in 1966. Because of the seaman strike, racing did not get underway until August the 28th. This in itself made history, for it was the first Sunday racing on the TT course since the first race back in 1907. A record-breaking week it turned out to be. Manx Radio now brings you the highlights of 3 of the races: the 250 lightweight, the junior, and the senior. Firstly, the 250. We capture now the atmosphere at the start of a TT. The timekeeper now, the flag is up, and the 250 is underway now. And pushing off first to Tommy Robb on the Bultaco, and Mike Duff on the Yamaha, which isn't firing. Mike Duff is in trouble. He hasn't, the machine hasn't fired. He's still pushing, and still pushing as he goes out of our sight without a sign of the machine firing. Tommy Robb did get away. There's quite a gap now with non-starters. Number 6, Stastny on the Java is next away, and he's pushing now. And will this machine fire? No, he's also having difficulty. Now, this is interesting. Works machines usually fire, and he is away now, and this is it. This is Stuart Graham and Phil Reed pushing off together. Who's going to be the first man? And it is Phil Reed just ahead of Stuart Graham as they went off there, and that's going to be a dice right around the course, well worth looking at. Number 9 going away there now. It's Rosner on the MZ, another fancy rider. Number 14, we have quite a gap here now with non-starters. Unfortunately, one of the most popular riders, Taquino Provini, who unfortunately had that bad accident, is non-starter today, and I'm sure many, many fans will be disappointed over that. Number 14 is Bill Smith on the Bultaco, and he gets the signal and pushes off now, and slips out of gear, and he corrects it and gets in. Now the moment is Mike the Bike, Mike Halewood pushes off now. Listen to this Honda. And there he goes, the favourite, Mike the Bike Halewood pushing off and away to a very good start indeed. Number 18 now is F. Stevens, Fred Stevens on the 249 MZ. Pushes off. The next rider away will be number 19, Peter Inchley, who won the Southern 100 races this year, and he's riding a 247 Villiers, pushing off now, and a little bit of trouble starting, but it picks up and goes. Next rider away is number 21 on the Works Yamaha, Bill Ivey, who had his first Works ride last year in the island, pushing off now, and again, a little bit of trouble, but it fires, and he is away. Listen. Mike Halewood was obviously out to win his 8th TT, and in a matter of minutes, the leaders were expected at Ballacrane, where Stuart Lord takes up the story.
Well, Tommy Robb or Mike Duff. Tommy Robb from Ireland, Mike Duff from Canada. And it's number 7. Phil Reed in the lead. Phil Reed, number 7 gone through, followed by number 8. Number 8 is Stuart Graham. Stuart Graham in second place. Here's Tommy Robb, number 1 from Ireland, Tommy Robb from Ireland, on the 249 Bultaco. They're gone through. 3 men gone through very fast, and to everyone's surprise, Phil Reed, number 7, in the lead at the moment at Ballacrane on lap 1. Another very fast machine coming forward. Possibility could be Mike Halewood. It could be Mike the Bike. Coming very fast. In fact, I think it is Mike the Bike. No, it's number 6 and number 9. Number 6, Stastny. Number 9, here's Mike Halewood. Mike Halewood. My word, a roll through here from Mike Hayward, number 16. A fantastic ride there. Number 16 really went through by far the fastest, Mike the Bike. And now we're looking down the road again to Ballagharrigan, but still no sign of anyone. Very fast indeed on this first lap of the lightweight.
From Ballacrane, the course continues with the tricky Glen Helen section, onto the very fast Cronkovody and Bagara stretches, and onto Balaf Bridge, where Ken Lease describes the leading riders on this first lap.
Well, we are now waiting for Phil Reed, and we fancy we can hear a noise in the distance. It will be interesting to see how much Mike has pulled up on Reed, if any, by Balaf, and we'll put the watch on Phil as he goes by. Remembering that Mike started 40 seconds in arrears. Here's Phil coming, I think. Reed, yes. Number 7, Phil Reed, goes by now. The watch is on him. And here's a second machine coming. It's probably Stuart Graham on the Honda. Number 8, yes, Stuart Graham on the Honda. Goes by now. Another fast rider approaching this right-hand bend, coming up to us fast. It's number 16, Mike Halewood. And he is exactly, according to our watch, 26 seconds behind Phil Reed on the road. So it means he's pulled up 14 seconds on Reed in overall time to the lap. So we make it Halewood's ahead of Reed by 14 seconds up the lap. Unofficial timing, of course.
The next commentary point is the highest point on the course, the bungalow where the riders have just completed that tortuous mountain climb. Here the voice of Ian Cannell describes the first men through on that first lap.
And the first rider is in view, and it is still Phil Reed, and the second. Now this is a tremendous dice. Number 7, Phil Reed, getting waves from the crowd as he really squirts that Yamaha out of the bungalow bend. And there's Mike Hayward. You'll be able to hear on our effects microphone the interval between them. Now this is a truly fantastic dice. There must be only a couple, 2 or 3 seconds between them on the road. And there goes number 8, Stuart Graham. Now then, Mike Halewood, there was a starting interval of 40 seconds. Now he must have picked up, I think, about, 37 seconds or so of that, I should think, by the time they got here. My timekeeper says 36. I stand corrected. 36 seconds, the corrected time interval between Mike Halewood and Phil Reed at the bungalow.
And so on to the end of that first lap to hear the great sounds of Yamaha and Honda as Reed and Halewood hurtle past the stands and onto their second lap. And it definitely sounds like a Honda. It's definitely a 6-cylinder Honda, I would say, in the lead. He'd be coming into our side any second now, and it's going to be Mike the Bike. You know, it's still Reed, but Mike Halewood is just a couple of seconds behind him. Absolutely, he's going to be the leader in the very near future. The Honda drowned the sound of the Yamaha, and that was a fantastic first lap by Mike Halewood. There's no two ways about that. Just about 1 second behind Phil Reed on the roads, having started 40 seconds behind him, 39-second lead on that first lap, which is absolutely fantastic. Another machine coming through here now. You can hear it's number 8, and that is Stuart Graham, who's also riding very, very well indeed. And we make it unofficially that Mike Halewood lapped in about 21:40 on that first lap. 21:43, I'm told, 21:43, which is a speed of just coming up to just over 104 miles per hour. So that's something on a first lap when you consider that the lap record last year was set up, and the lap record is only 100.09, a speed of 22 minutes 37 seconds. Well, Mike Hayward and Phil Reed have been gone through now just about 1 minute. We're keeping a careful check on the watch to make sure we get them through Ballacrane, and for my money it'll be Mike Hayward leading there without any doubt. He went through here absolutely flat out with Phil Reed just about 1 second in front of him still. Well, on lap 2, the Works Yamahas of Phil Reed and Mike Duff dropped out, leaving only Bill Ivey to continue their challenge. But he dropped out on the 4th lap to leave the Hondas unchallenged. Let's pick up the story again at Ballacrane on the last lap.
Well, that's Mike Hayward. Mike Hayward, already the world champion in the 250cc international race here this afternoon, really going like a bomb through Ballacrane, like he has done right from the very start. Mike Hayward out in front and on the last lap, and certainly on his way to the winning the trophy for this afternoon. Anyway, out.
And on to Ian Cannell at the bungalow for that Honda howl.
Well, Peter, you can't time it any better than that, can you? That was Mike Halewood going through the bungalow for the last time in this race, well on his way now to winning yet another TT and chalking up the first of what could be 4 races in the 1 week. Well, what else can we say? He has gone on his way rejoicing. Very shortly we'll reach the end of the lap, and while I am speaking, may I just correct my grammar on my previous transmission when I spoke about Bill Boyd. There goes number 102, Jack Finley, who's now on the leaderboard, most consistent rider. When I was speaking to you before, I spoke about Bill Boyd and his colourful dress and said that he was wearing his 2 wives' garters. What I meant to say was he was wearing his wife's 2 garters. I don't wish to cast aspersions on his character and suggest that he's got more than 1 wife. But the story behind this is that when Bill Boyd came to Europe to race this season, His wife, who stayed behind in America, gave him her 2 garters as good luck omens, and he sticks one on each arm just above the elbow, and sharp-eyed spectators will be able to see them. Anyway, Mike Halewood safely on his way to completing this race through the bungalow. Now back to you, Peter.
And then the fast downhill stretch for the finish to hear Mike Halewood go on to win his 8th TT. Well, thank you. We're waiting now for Mike the Bike to come through to complete his 8th TT win. 7 wins up to now, and now the 250 is well within his grasp. The flag marshal has the checkered flag in readiness, and Mike Halewood now will be sweeping down. He'll be through Craignabar and along the long, fast stretch down to Brandish Corner. The left-hander now, which the top boys really take going very, very fast, and into the Hilbury, which they take absolutely flat out. Up through the twisting section of Cronknamona and along to Signpost Corner, the fairly sharp right-hander, before dropping round Bedstead Corner into the right-hander at the Nook, and then the twisting section down to the hairpin, the sharpest corner. And here he is, in fact, he's through Governor's Bridge. And coming along now, is this Mike Halewood? No, it's the wrong sounding machine, we think. Mike should be approaching Governor's Bridge now, but this machine coming through now to start his last lap was number 38. Number 38 has gone, 36 it was, to complete his, starting his last lap, and we're still waiting for Mike Halewood. Mike the Bike, who is averaging for 5 laps 101.86 miles per hour. First time the 250 has averaged over the 100, and he's put it up to 101, and really motoring today. In actual fact, his average is almost certain to be faster than the existing record for the 350cc class. Here he is. This is Mike Halewood. This is the whine, the Honda howl that we've been listening to all afternoon as Mike Halewood comes through to win his 8th TT. Mike Halewood on the fabulous 256-cylinder Honda. Listen. In actual fact, it wasn't. We were fooled there. It was number 54 in the Yamaha. But this is Mike. There he is. The machine we can hear in the background. Mike Halewood wins without any doubt whatsoever the 250cc, the 250cc TT. The 350 race had sensations before the start, with the announcement that all Works Yamahas had withdrawn. The fans were all looking forward to a terrific dice between the Honda of Mike Halewood and the MV of Giacomo Agostini. So straight away, let's take up the story at the start of the junior race. The flag has been unfurled, the flag is up and down, and Bill Smith pushes off to start the junior TT, and there is the healthy roar of the AJS. Next man away, number 3, Griff Jenkins on the 348 Norton with a fiery Welsh dragon on his green helmet. He pushes off now, starts straight away. Now we have a gap because of non-starters being numbers 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Jack Ahern on the 348 Norton, Jack the very popular Australian rider, and number 10 Joe Dunphy, who finished second in the senior race last year. They're pushing off side by side. Numbers 9 and number 10, 2 348 Nortons, Jack Ahern and Joe Dunphy. Still waiting for their signal. The flag is up and down, and they push off now side by side. Which one is going to be? This is going to be another very interesting battle, and in actual fact, it's number 9, Jack Ahern, and here's Mike Halewood. Listen to the Honda. Well, there it is, a typical Mike Halewood getaway, and followed by number 12, Stastny. And now we wait for the second favorite, or should I say the other joint favorite, Agostini, who's pushing off alongside number 15, Selwyn Griffiths on the AJS, and it's nice to see Selwyn out riding in this race. Agostini pushes off. Listen to the MV3. In actual fact, not a very quick start. Number 15 was just ahead of him as they left the line, but no doubt Agostini will take him. Number 18 pushing off now, ASC Hunter on a Norton. The next rider, number 19, another fairly fancied rider, Chris Conn. Chris Conn on the 348 Norton. Number 21, Bill McCosh from Ireland on the 348 AJS, who lapped in practice. 12th on the leaderboard, 24.51.2, pushing off now. Numbers 23, number 23 coming now, and that is the new, the MZ. H. Rosner on the MZ, pushing off the 251 MZ alongside number 24, Peter Darvill on the Norton, and the MZ not firing very well, but getting away. Number 26 pushing off now, and that is R.S. Chandler on the AJS. Number 27, next signal will be G. Havel from Czechoslovakia on the other Jawa. Getting his signal now and pushing away. Listen to the Jawa. Slips slightly, but gets it firing. Yes, and he's away. Number 30, D.F. Shorey on the 348 Norton. An additional non-starter by... And there were sensations at Ballacrane on lap 1 of this race, as Stuart Lord now tells us.
It is number 1, Bill Smith, is still in the lead. Bill Smith followed by number 3, Gordon Jenkins, number 3, doing very well indeed. They both went through a very fast at Ballacrane. But Jenkins must have slipped his gear there just as he went through. But both men very fast indeed. Still no sign of Hayward. Number 1, Smith through first, followed by Jenkins. Smith on the AJS and Jenkins on the Norton. Oldview peering forward now. Where is Mike Hayward? Mike Hayward should be very shortly here. Here comes number 16. Yes, Agostini.
Mike Hayward's gone off somewhere. There's something gone wrong somewhere, because Mike would have not normally be well in front of Agostini, but he's not here. Number 12 coming through now. 12, Frenstick Stesney going by us. Number 9 coming up and heeling over to the corner, Jack Ahern of Australia, and no Mike Hayward. So Mike Hayward, Peter, has gone somewhere between your point of the grandstand and us here.
Oh, my goodness me. Well, what a terrible disappointment. Perhaps, Peter, you'll have some information. If not, can you come straight back to Ballacrane? Agostini has gone through then, number 16.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Stuart. Now an Androma hits on the first lap of the 350 TT, and Mike Hayward not at Ballacrane. Number 11 has not reached Ballacrane. The other favourite, Giacomo Agostini, has gone through, and this possibly has spoiled the race, because we were all looking forward to a really terrific battle between these two riders. We'll try and find information just as soon as we can. But at the moment, it's Agostini only through. Agostini through Ballacrane, and no Mike Hayward on the Honda. So what has happened? We'll wait information. And over now to Ballacrane.
Peter, thank you very much indeed. Amidst the tremendous around, they've gone round, and quite a few of them bunching there together. Mike Hayward has gone through here at Ballacrane, but my word, what a terribly slow Mike Hayward. Definitely something out of order. Alan, perhaps you know a little bit more about the machine. It spluttered very badly as he went through Ballacrane.
Yes, certainly. I don't know what it was. It spluttered rather badly, but as it accelerated up the hill, everything chimed in, and he seemed to clear everything, all the trouble, and he went over the top and out of our sight quite cleanly, and I'm hoping that he's going to be able to pull back this early misfortune in this 350 race. Long way to go yet.
Thank you.
And so treble had struck Mike Halewood in the first 7 miles of this race. Could he make up the lost ground? Well, for possible news of this, we go over to Ken Leese at Ballaugh.
Here they come. Yes, it's Agostini first up Ballaugh. Followed by number 3, Griff Jenkins. And close on his heels, number 1, Bill Smith. So Agostini leads the field at Ballaugh. Going great guns.
But it wasn't to be. News reached the start that Mike Halewood had retired at Bishop Court on this first lap. So Agostini looked to be a safe bet to win, even at this early stage in the race. To describe the MV rider through the tricky bungalow bends, Ian Cannell now takes up the story.
And still only one machine has been seen go round the veranda. And that machine will doubtless be number 16, Agostini, who is in view. Down through the gears once, twice he changes down. This is number 16, turns the power on, and away goes Giacomo Agostini, snaking like mad as he accelerates out of the bungalow and trying everything he knows, and of course as yet will not know, presumably, unless he has a signalling station halfway around the circuit, that Mike Halewood is no longer the challenger that he thought he would be. Of course, naturally, he will have passed Mike Halewood on the road, but of course that doesn't mean very much if Mike was to have motored, as Alan Robinson told us that he thought he was, out of Ballacrane. Mike Halewood is by no means beaten when he's lost a few minutes on the road, as Agostini knows only too well. And away he goes, and we have quietness once again at the bungalow. Well, Agostini certainly showed, as he went through the bungalow here, that he means business. He really snaked his way out of the corner, about halfway up towards the Brandywell there. The back of the machine was waggling from side to side as he turned the power on, and here is the second machine. It's number 3, it's Griff Jenkins. Followed closely by number 1, Bill Smith. There's only 100 yards between them. Bill Smith was very, very wide there. He was over the yellow line, but gets back onto the road quite safely and sets off in hot pursuit, looking over his shoulder as he accelerates away from us. And numbers 3 and 1, Griff Jenkins and Bill Smith, on Norton and AJS respectively, are through the bungalow on their first lap with just about 100 yards between them on the road.
And on to the end of lap 1 to hear the MV scream through the stands. We're still looking up the road and still no sign of Agostini. The crowd on the grandstand now is starting to stand up to catch the first glimpse. And in actual fact, yes indeed, it's an MV. It's number 16. It's Giacomo Agostini coming through now. And he crosses right now and away onto his second lap. And we'll have an unofficial time for you in just a second, and we make it approximately 22 minutes 4 seconds. 22 minutes 4 seconds unofficial time. 22 minutes 4 seconds unofficial time, and if that is correct, it's from a standing start just 4 seconds outside the lap record. That Well, Agostini gradually pulled well away from his nearest rivals, breaking the lap record into the bargain on lap 2 in 21 minutes 57.6, a speed of 103.09 miles per hour. By the end of lap 5, Ago's lead was over 8 minutes, and we joined the race again to hear him win his first TT. The machine coming now. Listen, this sounds very much like Agostini. It is indeed, and Agostini crosses the line, undoubtedly the winner of the 350 TT for 1966, and I think the most delighted man that I have ever seen after a winner crosses the line is Mike Oates, who's up here assisting us, and he's absolutely delighted that Ago, as he calls him, has won the 350 TT this afternoon. So on to the Senior TT, the blue riband of motorcycle racing. Mike Halewood all out to gain revenge after his trouble on Wednesday, and Ago all out for a double. The scene was set for what everyone hoped would be a really great race. We join the Senior just as the flag is about to drop. Flag is up, and the Senior TT starts now, and they're pushing away. Is it Mike Halewood's fall? Will it fire? It does indeed! Goes away sounding very healthy this time. Number 3 and 4 on the starting grid now. Stefani and Duff, they push off side by side. Mike Duff on the 496 Specialist and is away fractionally ahead. Now the moment we're ready for Agostini. Listen to this MV. Number 5 pushing with him, but it's the MV. And a very quick start in lead for Giacomo Agostini. Number 7, Chris Carlin. Number 8, Paul McCosh on the matchless, pushing off side by side. Gets away slightly ahead. Next rider, number 10, Fred Stevens on this Matisse, and looking very immaculate indeed, as Peter Arnold said this machine would do. Firing now, and he is away. The next rider is number 12, Peter Darvill, another fancied man today on the matchless, pushing off now. Without any luck, doesn't fire. Number 14 is waiting to go. That's ARC Hunter on the Norton. Number 12 still pushing. The machine has not fired as yet. It does now. It picks up, but he's lost quite a bit of time. Number 14 away there. Number 15 is the next man. That's Bill Smith on the matchless. Receives a signal now and pushes off. Machine fires. He's away. Number 17, Griff Jenkins, and the Dunstall dummy racer, and this machine does really look absolutely immaculate. Pushing off now, and listen, the sound of the twin, very healthy indeed. Number 20 is the next starter, and that's Jolly Jack Ahern on the Norton, and we're looking for big things today from Jack Ahern on this DDM model. And he's away very quickly indeed, right over the tank just as soon as he gets into the saddle. Number 21 going away, it's R.S. Chandler on the matchless. Riders away, and number 23, Ian Byrne, number 24, D.F. Shorey, and a check on the watch shows us just coming up to 2 minutes since the first men were away, and we're keeping a very close check today to get the leaders through Ballacrane. The next Well, with the favourites so close on the road, exciting racing was in store, and Stuart Lord takes up the story just 7 miles out at Ballacrane.
Peter, from the sun-drenched Ballacrane, Stuart Lord saying a very good afternoon. Everyone leaning over the barriers down here at the right-hander of Ballacrane. Nothing in sight at the moment, but they should be here any second now. The leader should be Mike Hayward. Number 2 should be number 1 on the road. And it is Mike Hayward. Here he goes through. Mike Hayward. And he's out by himself at the moment. Mike Hayward, safe and sound through Ballycrane, out by himself. There's not a person in sight. We should have Agostini, who John's just been talking about, on the MB through next, number 6. And in fact, it is number 6, Agostini, going through now. Listen to this. Both men exceptionally fast through on their first lap of the senior race here at Ballycrane. Very fast indeed, but there's quite a gap between Hayward and Agostini already. There's no sign of the third man on the road at the moment. But now coming in for Ballycrane, it's number 3, it's Stasny from Czechoslovakia, and number 1, Joe Dunphy. Well, we're very pleased that Joe Dunphy has a little bit more success. Notice how he has a lot of success on this race, because Dunphy seems to be bad luck placed Ballycrane. Here's number 4 now, number 4, Mike Duff. Very nice ride, rather slower than the other men who've been through. Mike Duff gone through Ballycrane.
Well, hardly anything between the leaders at Ballycrane, so who would have the advantage at Ballaugh? Ken Lease continues commentary from that point.
Well, we can hear what must be Mike Halewood approaching this very, very fast right-hand sweep, quarter of a mile down the road from us. And from what we hear at Ballycrane, Mike is setting the pace this afternoon. He doesn't intend to let Agostini catch him at 8. What a speed round out of our sight, right into the far curb, and he comes up to Ballaugh now. I'll get a watch on him if I can. He goes by now. Over the bridge, he's grimly determined this afternoon to keep that Honda out in front. And the watch is on, 10, 11, 15 seconds gone, and he's Agostini coming. 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 and a half seconds, so Halewood leads at Ballaugh by 1.5 seconds only. He hasn't pulled all that much out of Agostini at all. We make it 1.5 seconds. Halewood leads Agostini at Ballaugh.
So just 1.5 seconds separated Halewood and Agostini at Ballaugh. Could Agostini keep up this tremendous effort, or would Mike gradually inch away from him? Well, that was the question in everyone's mind as Ian Kennell takes up the race at the bungalow.
And the machine is in view, and the second machine has just come round the veranda. Now this is interesting. We can see the 2 machines, and here is Halewood, number 2, bends the bike over, waits. There's a beautiful sound of that Honda. And Mike changing over and taking a tremendous fistful of throttle as he accelerates away from the bungalow here. And Mike Halewood, as we have been told, is really trying. We've seen Mike Halewood when he's had it all to himself. And today, as in the 125 race on Wednesday, we're seeing a Mike Halewood who really knows he's got to go. And here's the man who's chasing him. Number 6, Agostini. And Agostini's machine snaking as he turns on the power there for this 3-cylinder MV in hot pursuit of Mike Halewood. My timekeeper is feverishly working out figures here, and it tells me that Mike Halewood at the bungalow, and quite unofficially, leads the race by 5.2 seconds. I say again that unofficially at the bungalow on the first lap, Mike Halewood, number 2, leads number 6 Agostini by 5.2 seconds on corrected time.
So it looked as if Mike had the edge, at least over the mountain, and to find out what the lead would be at the end of the lap, we rejoin our commentary at the end of lap 1. There is nothing just as yet, no sound of a machine as yet, but he must be fast approaching that now. Agostini won't be that far behind him, and here is a machine, and unofficially it's 21 minutes, 20, and there he goes, 21 minutes, 24 seconds, unofficial time on the first lap from a standing start, and that's really motoring. If that is absolutely correct, he's about 106 miles an hour from a standing start, which is really motoring. We've got the watch on, and still waiting for Agostini. Agostini, the next machine we expect, and here he comes now, is Giacomo Agostini. Oh, it's very fast indeed. Working now the difference, and the difference looks like being, if we can just get their starting difference worked off. It looks like being about 6 seconds. It looks as if Halewood unofficially is leading at the end of lap 1 by 6 seconds. And the Honda and the MV have gone through now, and we expect a fairly long wait before we come to any more riders. The next one we expect is number 3, Stastny, and he should be coming through in the very near future. But Mike Halewood, unofficial lap time, 21 minutes 24. Agostini, unofficial lap time, 21:30.
Well, Mike Halewood gradually pulled ahead on lap 2. 8 seconds at Belaf, 10 seconds at the Bungalow, and the reason why was soon apparent as Mike completed his second lap.
Sound of that Honda. It's Mike Halewood now, and we start to watch to see what the difference is between himself and Agostini on this lap. His growing time, we make that lap time in actual fact 21 minutes 9 seconds, unofficially 21 minutes 9 seconds, an unofficial lap time for Mike Halewood on that lap. It's now the 20 seconds difference are up, 20 seconds up, and we're waiting now for Agostini, and 25 seconds, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 seconds, which is unofficially means that Mike Halewood has increased his lead now to 11 seconds. 11 seconds, Mike Halewood has increased his lead. Where we do have the news, Mike Halewood has topped 107 miles an hour. Mike Halewood has topped 107 miles an hour. His time, 21 minutes 8.6, 21 minutes 8.6 official time, and that's an average speed of 107.07. A lap record has gone in the senior. 21 minutes 8.6, speed of 107.07, and his time for the 2 laps was 42 minutes 32.2, a speed of 106.45. Confirming the lap record to Mike Halewood on lap 2, speed 107.07, time 21 minutes 8.6 seconds.
Well, during the 4th lap, rain fell heavily on the northern areas of the course and speeds obviously slowed. But at the end of the lap, Mike led Aggo by some 56 seconds. He continued to pull ahead throughout the next 2 laps, and we rejoin our commentator at the Bungalow, Ian Kennell, to take him through on his last lap.
Very, very fast projectile coming into view at tremendous speed. This must be Halewood. Bends into the left-hander. Slightly snakes on the corner. Accelerates away. Oh, yes. Back wheel steps out under the acceleration, and away he goes. No trouble at all.
And so Mike Halewood on the Honda was all set to win his 9th PT, just 1 away from the record which has stood for so long, held by the great Stanley Woods. We hear again the fabulous sound of the Honda as Mike crosses the line.
Looking up the road now for Mike Halewood and preening our ears, just trying to catch the first glimpse of Mike Halewood as he comes through to win the senior TT, once again the name of Mike Halewood, and chalk up his 9th TT win. Still listening, no sign as yet, so we will very quickly confirm the leaders at the end of lap 5. 3rd position, and here he is. Here's Mike Halewood. Mike Halewood is coming through now to take the next flag, and we can say without any doubt is the winner of the 1966 senior TT. A brilliant ride by a brilliant rider on a brilliant machine. Now, what more could you ask for? And Mike Halewood is undoubtedly the winner of the 1966 senior TT. Also on lap 2, he broke the lap record, his own record, putting it up to 107.07, time 21 minutes 8.6, 21 minutes 8.6, speed 107.07, and without any doubt the winner of the senior TT. We'll have
And now here again, Agostini finishing on the MV. Here's surely a rider who will make his mark in many TT races to come.
And here he is, in actual fact, yes, it's Agostini, the unmistakable star of the MV now. There he is. And it's almost 3 minutes after Mike Halewood finishes, Agostini finishes, which makes it unofficially about 2 minutes 40 seconds. A lead of 2 minutes 40 seconds for Mike Halewood. So it looks as the position in the race is Mike Halewood first, Giacomo Agostini second. Well, there it is, the highlights of 3 of the 1966 TT races. This year, of course, is the Diamond Jubilee of the races, and some really great racing is in store. Perhaps the main point is to see if Mike Halewood can beat this record of 10 TT wins. With 9 behind him now, it seems pretty sure that he will. Eyes again will be on Aggo, who made himself one of the most popular riders on the island last year. Add to this the tremendous works battles, the private dices to be seen right down the field, and you can see why everyone is looking forward to the Diamond Jubilee races. Manx Radio will again be bringing you full commentaries on all races, and these will be broadcast on 232 meters in the medium wave band, which means that even the smallest radio will be able to pick up our commentaries anywhere around the course. They will also be broadcast in the VHF band on 89 megacycles. So join Manx Radio for commentaries on all the TT races this year. Our team of local commentators look forward to describing the greatest races in the world to you.